Have you ever just had one of those days? Well, I have. And that day was yesterday. So we had a major tank leak and had about 25 gallons all over the floor in the lobby where we had a mess going and everything got saturated with water. But it doesn't stop there. No, it wasn't just this disaster. No, it got worse. So that is what happens today at Flip Aquatics.
So I just want to say, when you own a fish store and you walk into the front office, now granted I've already walked in here and experienced the first hand of the chaos that happened beyond this door, but when you see water there and water there, you know something really went wrong. And so you open the door and think, oh, I wonder what happened, and then you see this, and then you realize that something went wrong with the saltwater tank. And so we'll get into the damages here very soon. And first of all, this is the culprit. The barb fitting came off, which is what it is. Is what it is. Came off. Obviously, it squirted water everywhere. Protein skimmer isn't running. Heater's probably cooked. I gotta unplug that. Let me do that now so it doesn't cook further and shatter. Let's see. I don't know if I plugged the right. Obviously, I didn't unplug the right one. We'll just turn all this off for a second. It's the safe way. So, if that isn't worse, you walk over here and I got these sponge filters that I'm guessing are now pretty saturated in salt water, which really sucks. Now I gotta clean all these. And then we got a brand new box of Shrimp King food that I'm guessing is pretty saturated. Although usually it's packed in plastic, so that's gonna be the saving grace. If it ruins some food. Luckily it didn't get my... Yeah, look at this. I mean, there's a good, I want to say 30 gallons of water on the floor. Yep. So, I got Ken on the way. He's going to help clean it up. But right now, I'm just going to try to not spread the mess. So I'm going to go get my shop vac, trying to kind of clean up what's stagnant on the water, move this stuff out of the way. But I did want to do an update for you guys real quick because you guys need to see what it's like owning a fish store and this kind of stuff happening. So this is the reality. It's currently 9:15. I had an hour and a half of work to do before this happened. So now it's going to be a late night, early morning getting the fish room done. But that's enough complaining. And so this is what we're going to be working on for the next little while. Got some of it cleaned up, still got more. Good news is I'm starting to dig through this stuff, and it looks like all the stuff that's in bags was on the bottom, and anything that was loose was on the top. And so luckily none of the Shrimp King food got ruined. I mean, it's still in a plastic container inside of these, and so it wouldn't have been ruined, but it would have ruined the box, which, you know, it is what it is. But luckily they do package them to where they're in bags, so it didn't ruin anything. The other thing I did notice, which I got this nice Shrimp King tank over here, and it's soaked, so that kind of sucks. I already sold this too, so I might have to open it up and kind of hope that it's all good. Hopefully the styrofoam that's covering it blocked the water from actually getting into the display cardboard of the fish tank, and so that's going to be a whole nother thing. So we're going to see what's going on in there. But yep, got a lot left to clean up. We got to move all these couches out, clean underneath them. Probably gonna mop. Don't want to get saltwater's sticky. It's nasty stuff. So a lot left to do, but did want to give you the good news. All right, so still cleaning up. Ken just got here. He's gonna start helping. But Ken, tell him what today is.
Today's my birthday.
And it's actually his birthday, and I forgot. So I'm glad he's here. So happy birthday, first of all. But what a birthday present!
Yeah.
Dude, but the good thing about it being your birthday is I can't even be slightly upset with you. Because it's your birthday. Not that I was upset anyway, because it's just one of them days. I expected this to happen. But, so, Ken, dude, what's your first impression?
Just glad the coral's alright.
Dude, honestly, that is the best thing, because everything else can be, you know, replaced fairly cheaply. I don't think there's anything that really got damaged. I was worried about all these nets, though. I had all these nets, and they're all, what is it, cardboard, the wrapping of them. But, like, none of these were wet. The box was soaked, but none of these got wet, how they packaged it, so.
Good packaging.
Dodged a bullet there. And all the shrimp food didn't get wet because it's all wrapped in plastic. So we dodged a bullet there. So, dude, minimal damage so far. Although it did get all over here. So I didn't even look out in the warehouse. No, I can't tell. Yeah, so at least it did come all the way out here.
28. Feels great.
Alright, so I thought to look in the office because it looked like a lot of it was sloping this way. So the carpet luckily sucked up a lot of the moisture, but it definitely cooked the charger for the computer. So that's something we'll have to deal with tomorrow. I didn't really check. You know, obviously the printer's not working because the power got cooked. So we're going to clean all this up and see what works and what doesn't work. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be good to go, but that's not very promising as an electrician. Yeah, what are your final thoughts on the flood?
Well, final thoughts are we did a little organization.
Yes, we did.
Little late spring cleaning.
Hey, it's done though.
What?
It looks a lot better in here.
Progress.
Baby
steps.
Now, what do we do to prevent this from ever happening again?
About 14 hose clamps, 3 zip ties, and pray.
This is the jury rig way. And you don't have a hose clamp that will fit it. You got that. You got 2 hose clamps up here, which we don't even know why there weren't hose clamps on there to begin with. New heater, because that one was broke. Protein skimmer's running good. Curls are looking a little upset with the huge water change, but whatever. Right?
Should
Not
be
gonna
good.
die.
No, it should be good.
Happy birthday, Ken.
Thank you, sir.
It's almost over though.
It is.
What is it? It's inching close to 12 o'clock. You gotta be up at, what would you say, 4 o'clock?
Yeah. So, 4.5 hours.
That's good sleep.
Yeah, pretty excited for it.
Alright, we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, well, as you all know, yesterday was my birthday, and it ended pretty badly with the salt tank at the warehouse, and then I got home finally at around 11:30, and I said, I better check on the fish room. So I walked downstairs and no air in the fish room. So I'm like, no big, I got a spare AP100, I'll just hook that up. So get it working again. Air been out for a while, probably had about, I don't know, 30 dead fish netted out. More were looking rough. I'm not sure how many more died. I haven't been able to do that part yet. I'll get to that in a minute. But so anyway, I come down this morning. Well, I guess let me rewind a little bit. I had to be up for work at 4 o'clock. So I finally got to bed last night, my birthday, at 12:30. Came down this morning, checked, make sure the pump was still working at 4:30 this morning, and pump wasn't working. Awesome. So now you walk in here and we have air. Some of the tanks are super filthy. They need water changes and whatnot, which will be done today. But if you could check this out, this is what used to be my tank for wild-caught buffalo head. I had a group about 7 or 8, and probably about 40 fries swimming around in there, and they're all dead. But yeah, it's super loud in here. I hope, you know, you could hear me okay. But that's what I was going to talk about that in a minute. But check out all of these snails. These are Malaysian trumpet snails, and there's got to be 1,000 of them. They're just all over the sand bed. So I'm sure Rob will be hitting me up for some of these here soon. But Rob takes care of me, so gotta take care of him, right? But yeah, so now back to the noise. Being that this pump is ginormous and way too big for my room, I had to put this T in here, as you can see, and it's got a ball valve on it for a bleeder. So yeah, needless to say, it's super loud in here. Oh, there's my AP100s in the diaphragm kit. So, yeah, I don't know. Here pretty soon I'm going to go back down to the warehouse and try and figure out why they're not working so I can give Rob his pump back. And yeah, lost everything in this tank but my Lalupi group. I had about 9 Tropheus in here. Alonge Mori. They were gorgeous looking. I got one left. I'm thinking it might be a male. He's hiding back there. So he's the only one that survived besides the Lalupi, which I think there's 3 or 4 of them. You can see one peeking out of the cave right there. They always, for some reason, they always lay their eggs in that little hut right there. I believe it's supposed to be used for like Calvis or comps, but they seem to like it, so I don't know. Well, you guys have a good weekend. I'm gonna wrap up shop here and finally get a shower and everything else and get some stuff done.